In the small town of Crestwood, nestled between rolling hills and surrounded by meadows, Tammy Carroll was getting ready for the most significant day of her life. She had dreamed about this day since she was a little girl, imagining the perfect wedding with the perfect man. Today, those dreams were about to come true as she prepared to marry Robert Mitchell, her high school sweetheart. Tammy's childhood friend, Sandra Pace, was bustling around the bridal suite, making sure every detail was perfect. The room was adorned with delicate lace and flowers, a reflection of the love that had blossomed between Tammy and Robert over the years. Sandra couldn't help but feel a surge of nostalgia as she thought about the countless hours they spent talking about love, life, and dreams. As Tammy slipped into her elegant white gown, her mind raced with memories of the journey that led her to this moment. She thought about the shy glances exchanged in high school hallways, the shared laughter during late-night conversations, and the unwavering support they provided each other through triumphs and tribulations. Sandra looked at Tammy with a mix of excitement and a hint of tears in her eyes. "You look absolutely stunning, Tammy. Robert is a lucky man." Tammy smiled, feeling a surge of gratitude for the people who had been a part of her journey. "Thank you, Sandra. I can't believe this day is finally here." The sun bathed Crestwood in a warm glow as guests gathered at the picturesque venue, a charming garden filled with blooming flowers. Friends and family mingled, sharing laughter and joy as they eagerly anticipated the union of Tammy and Robert. Among the attendees was Joseph Faison, Robert's best friend since childhood. Joseph had witnessed the evolution of Robert and Tammy's relationship, from the initial sparks to the deep, enduring flame that burned between them. He couldn't be happier for his friend, though a small part of him felt a twinge of nostalgia for the times when it was just the two of them, navigating the complexities of life. As the ceremony began, Dina Merriman, a seasoned wedding coordinator with a keen eye for detail, ensured that everything unfolded seamlessly. The air was filled with a mix of emotions, anticipation, excitement, and a touch of nostalgia. Dina had orchestrated countless weddings, but each one held a unique charm. Tammy walked down the aisle, her eyes locked with Robert's, and the world around them seemed to fade away. The vows they exchanged echoed with sincerity, promising a lifetime of love and companionship. The ceremony flowed seamlessly into a lively reception where friends and family raised toasts to the newlyweds. Laughter and music filled the air as Tammy and Robert danced their first dance as a married couple. The atmosphere was one of sheer happiness, a celebration of love and commitment. Amidst the festivities, the elderly lady, a longtime resident of Crestwood known as Mrs. Eleanor Matthews, observed the celebration from a corner. Her eyes twinkled with a mix of wisdom and mystery as she watched the joyous occasion unfold. After the initial dances and toasts, Mrs. Matthews slowly made her way towards the dance floor, her steps measured but purposeful. Her weathered face held a gentle smile, and her eyes seemed to carry the weight of years filled with stories. As she approached the bride, a hush fell over the crowd. Tammy, still caught up in the euphoria of the day, greeted Mrs. Matthews warmly. "Hello, Mrs. Matthews. Thank you for coming." Mrs. Matthews returned a smile and in a voice as soft as the rustle of leaves said, "My dear, may I share a few words with you?" Tammy, curious yet respectful, nodded. "Of course, Mrs. Matthews. I'd be honored." The crowd watched in a collective hush as Mrs. Matthews began to speak. "My sweet child, life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow. As you embark on this journey of matrimony, remember that every stitch, every moment, contributes to the beauty of the whole." The words hung in the air, and an inexplicable stillness gripped the onlookers. Mrs. Matthews continued, her gaze penetrating as if she could see beyond the surface. "Love is a resilient flower, but it requires nurturing, patience, and understanding. There will be storms, my dear, but also moments of bliss that will make your heart soar. Embrace both with an open heart." Tammy, captivated by Mrs. Matthews' words, felt a mixture of emotions. The old lady's wisdom seemed to touch a chord deep within her, resonating with the gravity of the commitment she had just made. As Mrs. Matthews concluded her words of wisdom, she placed a small weathered envelope into Tammy's hands. "In this envelope, my dear, you'll find something that has been passed down through generations." Before continuing, I suggest subscribing to my channel so you don't miss new videos. It's a reminder that love endures, even in the face of life's trials. Tammy accepted the envelope, her fingers trembling slightly. The moment hung in the air, a blend of mystery and significance that left everyone present in a state of silent contemplation. With a gentle smile, Mrs. Matthews retreated into the background, leaving Tammy with the mysterious envelope. The wedding continued with renewed energy as the couple cut the cake, shared laughter, and danced the night away. Curiosity gnawed at Tammy's mind, and she couldn't resist stealing a moment alone to open the envelope. Inside, she found a faded photograph of a couple who seemed to have lived a lifetime together, their smiles etched with the passage of time. Tammy studied the photograph, a deep sense of connection forming between her and the captured moment of a bygone era. The couple in the picture exuded a timeless love, weathered by the years but undeniably resilient. Turning the photograph in her hands, Tammy's gaze was drawn to a handwritten note on the reverse side. The graceful script conveyed a tale of lasting love, the shared trials that had been overcome, and the resilience discovered in standing united. A deep sense of gratitude welled within Tammy as she contemplated the rich heritage preserved in both the photograph and the poignant words. The night wore on and the celebration continued. Tammy tucked the photograph back into the envelope, a newfound reverence for the journey ahead settling in her heart. The wedding guests, unaware of the intimate moment she had just experienced, reveled in the joyous occasion. Sandra approached Tammy, her eyes shining with happiness. "Tammy, this is the most beautiful wedding I've ever been to." Mrs. Matthews' words were something else, weren't they? Tammy nodded, her thoughts still lingering on the elderly lady's profound advice. Yes, they were. It's like she handed me a piece of history and wisdom wrapped in that envelope. Sandra smiled knowingly. Sometimes wisdom comes from unexpected places. Your wedding has been filled with beautiful moments, Tammy. As the night continued, the dance floor buzzed with energy, and the atmosphere was charged with the warmth of love and camaraderie. Tammy and Robert, surrounded by their closest friends and family, embraced the celebration of their union. In the midst of the joyous chaos, Mrs. Matthews observed from a distance, her eyes twinkling with satisfaction as if she had played a part in weaving a thread of wisdom into the fabric of Tammy and Robert's story. The next morning, Tammy awoke to the soft sunlight filtering through the curtains. The events of the wedding day replayed in her mind, and she couldn't shake off the feeling that Mrs. Matthews had bestowed upon her a gift beyond the material envelope. Curiosity propelled her to embark on a quest to uncover the history behind the photograph. She began by seeking out the elderly residents of Crestwood, hoping to unveil the story behind the couple captured in the faded image. As she delved into the community's history, Tammy discovered tales of enduring love, shared joys, and overcoming hardships. The threads of these stories interwove with her own, creating a rich tapestry of life in Crestwood. Tammy's quest led her to the heart of Crestwood, where the town's elders eagerly shared their memories. Each story painted a picture of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bonds that had stood the test of time. The photograph, it seemed, was a symbol of a shared history that transcended generations. Among those who shared their stories was a gentle soul named Mr. Harold Turner, whose eyes sparkled with the wisdom of a life well lived. He spoke of the couple in the photograph, recounting their journey through decades of joy and hardship. The couple in the photograph, Margaret and Edward Turner, were Crestwood's own love legends. Married during the tumultuous years of the Great Depression, they faced challenges that would have broken many. Yet their love had not only endured but had thrived. Tammy, captivated by Mr. Turner's storytelling, felt a deep connection to Margaret and Edward's story. It was a narrative of resilience, commitment, and the unwavering strength of love in the face of life's unpredictable twists. As Tammy listened to the tales of the Turners, she realized that the photograph and the accompanying wisdom were not merely tokens from the past, but guiding lights for her own journey. The more Tammy learned about Margaret and Edward Turner, the more she discovered parallels between their story and the journey she had embarked on with Robert. The realization struck her. The lessons shared by Mrs. Matthews and the tales of the Turners weren't just historical anecdotes. They were guiding principles for building a lasting and meaningful marriage. With newfound clarity, Tammy embraced the significance of the photograph and the wisdom it carried. She and Robert, like Margaret and Edward before them, would navigate the twists and turns of life hand in hand, drawing strength from the love that had stood the test of time. In the subsequent weeks, Tammy and Robert embraced the rhythm of married life, their love maturing with each day that unfolded. The image of Margaret and Edward Turner secured a distinctive spot in their home, serving as a perpetual reminder of Crestwood's timeless heritage of love woven across generations. The couple embraced the challenges that life threw at them, drawing inspiration from the stories of the past. In moments of joy, they celebrated the love that mirrored the timeless romance captured in the faded photograph. In moments of hardship, they found solace in the understanding that every trial was a thread adding richness to the tapestry of their shared history. One evening, as Tammy and Robert sat on their porch, a soft breeze carrying the fragrance of flowers, they reflected on the journey that had led them to this tranquil moment. Tammy took Robert's hand, her eyes filled with gratitude. "We've been given a precious gift, Robert, the wisdom of those who came before us. Their stories have become a part of our own." Robert nodded, his gaze fixed on the photograph of Margaret and Edward Turner. "Their love has become a beacon for us, guiding us through life's twists and turns. I feel a connection to something much larger than ourselves." In the tranquility of that evening, Tammy and Robert grasped that their love story extended beyond an isolated chapter, evolving as part of an ageless narrative interwoven with threads from the past. The wisdom imparted by Crestwood's elders had seamlessly integrated into their marriage, influencing the manner in which they confronted challenges and reveled in moments of joy. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Crestwood, Tammy whispered to Robert, "Our love is a part of something greater, something that transcends time." Robert smiled, his heart echoing the sentiment, "And it will endure, just like Margaret and Edward's." As time unfolded, Crestwood persisted as a sanctuary for unique yet interconnected love stories, all bound by the town's shared history. Tammy and Robert evolved into integral figures within the community, their lasting love serving as a source of inspiration for those who encountered their path. The photograph of Margaret and Edward Turner remained a cherished heirloom passed down through the generations of Tammy and Robert's family. The tales of Crestwood's love legends lived on in the hearts and minds of the townspeople, a testament to the enduring power of love in the fabric of their lives. One day, as Tammy and Robert celebrated their golden anniversary, the town of Crestwood came together to honor them. The garden, where their love story had begun, was adorned with flowers and laughter, a reflection of the joy they had shared with the community. Amidst the celebration, a familiar figure approached, Mrs. Matthews, now even older but radiating a timeless wisdom. She took Tammy's hands in hers, her eyes holding a profound warmth. "Your journey, my dear, has become a chapter in Crestwood's tapestry. May the threads of love continue to weave through the generations." Tammy, touched by Mrs. Matthews' words, looked around at the faces of those who had become a part of their story. The echoes of the past and the present merged into a harmonious melody, a celebration of enduring love and shared history. As the day unfolded, Tammy realized that their love story was not just theirs alone. It was a gift to Crestwood, a reminder that in the ebb and flow of life, love remained a constant, weaving a tapestry that connected hearts across time. The golden anniversary celebration became a testament to the resilience of love and the indelible mark it left on the lives it touched. In the twilight of that memorable day, Tammy and Robert took a quiet stroll through the garden hand in hand. The air was filled with the fragrance of blossoms, and the stars began to twinkle in the darkening sky. Tammy leaned her head on Robert's shoulder, reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this moment. "Our love story is like a thread in the fabric of Crestwood, isn't it?" Robert squeezed her hand gently. "Yes, and we're just one part of the beautiful tapestry that makes this town so special." As Tammy and Robert continued their stroll, they noticed a group of children playing in the garden, their laughter echoing through the air. The couple exchanged a knowing smile, realizing that the love stories of Crestwood would continue to unfold, each one contributing to the rich tapestry of the town's history. Mrs. Matthews, standing at a distance, observed the scene with a contented smile. She knew that the threads of love, once woven, had the power to endure, connecting the past, present, and future in a seamless continuum. The night embraced Crestwood, and in its quiet beauty, love whispered its eternal promise. In the years that followed, Crestwood continued to flourish, its streets filled with the laughter of children, the warmth of friendships, and the enduring love stories of its residents. Tammy and Robert, now grandparents, reveled in the joy of seeing their legacy unfold through the generations. The photograph of Margaret and Edward Turner remained a cherished relic, displayed prominently in the family home. The lessons of love passed down by Mrs. Matthews, the stories shared by Crestwood's elders, and the shared history of the town became guiding lights for the community. As the seasons changed and the years rolled by, Tammy and Robert became the living embodiment of Crestwood's enduring spirit. Their love story, intertwined with the town's history, inspired countless others to cherish the bonds they held dear. During a serene afternoon, Tammy and Robert found themselves seated on their porch, reflecting on the voyage that had led them to this juncture. The intricate tapestry of their lives, threaded with moments of both happiness and sorrow, depicted a love that had withstood the test of time. One day, a young couple in Crestwood approached Tammy and Robert, seeking advice as they embarked on their own journey of love. The couple, wide-eyed and filled with dreams, looked to the seasoned pair for guidance. Tammy smiled, her eyes reflecting the wisdom acquired over decades. Love is like a garden. It needs nurturing, patience, and a willingness to weather storms together. Embrace the journey and let your love be a beacon for those who come after you. Robert, ever the steadfast companion, added, "Every chapter adds a layer to the tapestry. Cherish the threads of joy, learn from the threads of challenges, and let your love story become a part of Crestwood's legacy." The young couple, grateful for the seasoned advice, left with a newfound sense of purpose. As they ventured into their own love story, they carried with them the echoes of Tammy and Robert's wisdom, becoming another thread in the intricate tapestry of Crestwood. In the years that followed, Crestwood continued to thrive as a haven of love stories, each one contributing to the town's collective history. The garden, where Tammy and Robert's love had blossomed, remained a symbol of enduring romance, a testament to the resilience of love in the face of life's uncertainties. As time marched on, Crestwood witnessed the ebb and flow of life. New families moved in, and old friends bid their final farewells. The town, however, remained steadfast in preserving its legacy of love. Tammy and Robert, having left an indelible mark on Crestwood, found solace in the fact that their love story had become a part of something greater. The garden, now a timeless symbol of enduring love, continued to draw lovers, dreamers, and those seeking the wisdom embedded in its blossoms. In the serene nooks of Crestwood, where echoes of bygone days lingered, love stories persisted, each contributing a fresh stroke to the masterpiece that constituted Crestwood's intricate tapestry. One sunny afternoon, as Tammy and Robert sat on the same porch where they had shared countless moments, they marveled at the town they had called home for so many years, the laughter of children playing in the distance, the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. It was a symphony of life echoing through the streets of Crestwood. Tammy turned to Robert, her eyes reflecting the wealth of memories they had created together. "Our love story has become a part of something timeless, Robert. I never could have imagined the journey we would take." Robert nodded, his gaze fixed on the garden that had witnessed the blossoming of their love. "It's a beautiful tapestry, Tammy, and we're just grateful to be woven into its fabric." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Crestwood, Tammy and Robert stood hand in hand, embracing the quiet beauty of the town they had grown to love. The echoes of love stories, old and new, resonated in the air, creating a harmony that transcended the boundaries of time. Robert squeezed Tammy's hand gently, his eyes reflecting a lifetime of shared moments. "Our story will live on in the whispers of the wind, the laughter of children, and the quiet moments of reflection. Crestwood's tapestry is ever evolving, and we've played our part in its timeless narrative." As they made their way back to their porch, the sounds of the night settling in, Tammy and Robert felt a sense of contentment. The town, with its rich history and love stories, was a testament to the enduring power of human connections. In the subsequent years, Crestwood thrived, its fabric of love gaining depth with the progression of each new generation. The garden, transformed into an emblem of ageless romance, served as tangible proof of the enduring legacy left by the love story of Tammy and Robert. As new couples exchanged vows, children played in the same streets where Tammy and Robert once walked, and the elderly shared tales of love and resilience. Crestwood remained a haven for those seeking the profound beauty of shared history. And in the quiet corners of the garden, where the fragrant blossoms whispered secrets of the past, the essence of Tammy and Robert lingered, their love becoming an integral part of the town's collective heart. As Tammy and Robert aged gracefully, the rhythms of Crestwood continued to serenade their days. The garden, now tended to by the generations that followed, stood as a living tribute to the enduring love that had taken root in its soil. The town, having weathered the passage of time, remained an evergreen sanctuary for love stories. Couples still walked hand in hand along the same streets, and the laughter of children playing echoed through the air. Each love story, a unique thread in the vast tapestry of Crestwood, contributed to the town's ongoing legacy. Tammy and Robert, seated on their porch, watched the ebb and flow of life with a serene acceptance. Their love, having ripened like fine wine, had become a timeless melody, harmonizing with the symphony of Crestwood's collective heart. In the quiet twilight of their lives, Tammy and Robert found solace in the knowledge that Crestwood, with its tales of love and shared history, would continue to thrive. The town had become a living testament to the resilience of human connections, a sanctuary for those seeking the profound beauty of enduring relationships. As they looked out over the town they had called home for so many years, Tammy whispered, "Our love story was just one verse in Crestwood's song. It's a song that will continue to play for generations." Robert nodded, his eyes reflecting a deep sense of satisfaction. "And as long as Crestwood thrives, our love will be woven into its very fabric." As Tammy and Robert gracefully embraced the later years of their lives, the town of Crestwood continued to be a haven for love stories, evolving and flourishing with each passing season. The garden, once a backdrop to their own vows, remained a symbol of enduring romance, a sacred space where love continued to bloom. New generations found inspiration in the tales of Tammy and Robert, their story becoming a cherished chapter in Crestwood's collective history. The photograph of Margaret and Edward Turner, alongside the lessons from Mrs. Matthews, continued to guide young couples as they embarked on their own journeys. On a quiet evening, surrounded by the embrace of their community, Tammy and Robert reflected on the intricate tapestry of love that had woven their lives together with Crestwood's rich history. In the embrace of Crestwood's twilight, Tammy and Robert, hand in hand, strolled through the garden that had witnessed the tapestry of their love. The air was filled with a sense of timeless connection, a symphony of love stories interwoven through the ages. As they approached the bench where they had once carved their initials, Tammy spoke softly, "Our love story has become a part of something eternal, Robert, something that transcends the boundaries of time." Robert smiled, his eyes reflecting a lifetime of shared moments. "And Crestwood, with its ever-evolving tapestry, will carry the echoes of our love for generations to come." In the twilight of their lives, Tammy and Robert continued to be pillars of love in Crestwood. The town, with its cobbled streets and blooming gardens, bore witness to the enduring legacy of a couple whose love had become intertwined with its very essence. As the years unfolded, Crestwood's tapestry of love stories continued to expand, each chapter building upon the foundation laid by those who had come before. The garden, a living testament to the beauty of enduring relationships, stood as a beacon for generations to come. Tammy and Robert, seated on their porch, took comfort in the knowledge that Crestwood's tapestry would continue to weave together the lives of its residents, creating a symphony of love that resonated through time. One quiet evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Crestwood, Tammy and Robert felt a profound sense of gratitude for the town that had been the canvas for their love story. The stars began to twinkle overhead, and the sounds of a gently flowing stream added a tranquil melody to the air. They looked at each other, their eyes conveying a lifetime of shared memories. Tammy spoke with a gentle smile. "Crestwood has been more than just a town to us, Robert. It's been the keeper of our most cherished moments." Robert nodded, a deep sense of contentment in his gaze. "And as we've become a part of its history, Crestwood has become a part of us, a tapestry of love that will endure long after we're gone." In the quiet of that evening, Tammy and Robert continued to share stories, reminiscing about the journey that had brought them together. The porch, once witness to the beginning of their love story, now cradled the echoes of a lifetime. As they gazed out over the town, where lights flickered in the windows of homes, Tammy whispered, "Our love story is just one of many that have graced Crestwood. Each one adds a unique hue to the canvas of this town." Robert squeezed her hand gently, and the beauty of it all is that Crestwood's story, with its tapestry of love, will continue to unfold, painting new chapters for generations to come. Over the years, Crestwood underwent transformation, welcoming fresh starts while saying goodbye to familiar visages. The garden, an ageless observer of tales of love, persisted in flourishing through the shifting seasons, embodying the enduring essence of the town. Tammy and Robert, having left an indelible mark on Crestwood, found comfort in the rhythms of life that persisted around them. They watched as the tapestry of love stories continued to weave through the generations, each thread adding to the vibrant mosaic of Crestwood's history. On a serene afternoon, surrounded by the familiar sights and sounds of their beloved town, Tammy and Robert reflected on the ever-expanding canvas of Crestwood's love stories. In the embrace of Crestwood's enduring legacy, Tammy and Robert marveled at the depth and breadth of love that had shaped the town. The streets, once walked by the younger versions of themselves, now echoed with the laughter of a new generation. As they sat on their porch, the sun casting a warm glow over the familiar landscape, Tammy spoke with a sense of awe. "Our love story has become a small chapter in a much grander tale, Robert. Crestwood's tapestry of love is like a never-ending novel, and we're fortunate to have been a part of it." Robert nodded, a silent acknowledgement of the profound truth in her words. The beauty of Crestwood's tapestry was its ability to weave together the stories of countless lives into a rich, interconnected narrative. As Crestwood's tapestry continued to unfold, Tammy and Robert found joy in witnessing the love stories that blossomed around them. Couples exchanged vows in the same garden where they had pledged their love, children played in the streets, and the town's elders shared wisdom with those who sought it. The photograph of Margaret and Edward Turner, now a symbol of timeless love, remained a source of inspiration for new generations. Mrs. Matthews' words, passed down through the years, echoed in the hearts of those who embraced the journey of love in Crestwood. Seated on their porch, Tammy and Robert reveled in the beauty of a town that had become a living testament to the enduring power of love. In the gentle twilight of their lives, Tammy and Robert continued to be integral members of the tight-knit Crestwood community. Their home, filled with the warmth of shared memories, became a gathering place for stories and laughter. One day, a young couple approached Tammy and Robert, seeking their advice as they navigated the early days of their own love story. Tammy welcomed them with open arms, and Robert shared the lessons they had learned over the years. As the young couple left, Tammy turned to Robert, her eyes sparkling with a sense of fulfillment. "Our love story, Robert, has become a source of guidance for the next generation. Crestwood's tapestry continues to weave its magic." Robert smiled, his heart brimming with pride. And so the story of love in Crestwood lives on, one chapter at a time. As Crestwood embraced the cycles of life, Tammy and Robert found solace in the timeless rhythm of the town. The garden, now a flourishing testament to decades of love stories, became a symbol of the enduring bonds that connected the community. The town's elders, once mentors to Tammy and Robert, now shared their stories with a new generation, passing down the wisdom that had shaped Crestwood's rich history. The tapestry of love expanded, intertwining the lives of residents in a harmonious dance. On a serene evening, Tammy and Robert walked hand in hand through the garden, feeling the threads of their own story seamlessly blend with those of the town they had grown to cherish. In the golden years of Crestwood's tapestry, Tammy and Robert reveled in the quiet beauty of their town. The garden, bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun, whispered secrets of love and resilience to those who strolled through its paths. As Tammy and Robert sat on their porch, gazing at the familiar sights of Crestwood, they marveled at the unending cycle of love that had defined their lives. The laughter of children, the whispered confessions of young lovers, and the shared stories of the elderly all blended into a symphony of shared history. In that instance, Tammy murmured to Robert, "Our voyage, Robert, has comprised a section in a magnificent narrative of love that perpetually reveals itself within the soul of Crestwood." Robert nodded, a silent acknowledgement that their love had become an eternal thread in the tapestry of a town that had held their dreams, witnessed their joys, and cradled their love. As the seasons turned, Crestwood's tapestry expanded to include new faces and new tales of love. The garden, once a witness to Tammy and Robert's vows, now stood as a timeless stage for couples beginning their own journeys. One day, a gathering took place in the heart of Crestwood to celebrate a young couple's wedding. Tammy and Robert, surrounded by friends and family, felt a profound sense of joy. The torch of love had been passed to a new generation, and Crestwood's legacy of enduring romance lived on. Amidst the festivities, Tammy whispered to Robert, "Our love story, Robert, has become the heartbeat of Crestwood. It resonates in every vow exchanged, in every shared glance, and in the laughter that fills the air." Robert smiled, his eyes reflecting the pride and contentment of a life well lived. And so the tapestry continues to weave the story of love in Crestwood. As they entered the twilight of their existence, Tammy and Robert continued to relish the charm of Crestwood. Enveloped by the love that had crafted their narrative, they were aware that their tenure in the town that they had grown to consider home was reaching its conclusion. On a peaceful evening, as the stars adorned the sky, Tammy and Robert sat on their porch, gazing at the town that had been the canvas for their lifetime of love. The echoes of their laughter mingled with the whispers of the garden, and the town itself seemed to hold its breath in reverence. With a final glance at each other, Tammy and Robert felt a deep sense of gratitude for the shared history they had been privileged to be a part of. The tapestry of Crestwood's love stories, now including their own, would endure, weaving the tale of countless lives into a timeless masterpiece. Thanks for listening to this story. Put likes, subscribe to the channel, and watch the next videos.